Hey guys, Heidi Easley here, Texas Art and Soul, and founder of Paint Party Headquarters. And I am excited to have a guest today that's going to share about 3 tips to help you with your paint party business. So welcome, Christy. Tell us who you are and where you're from.
Hello, my name's Christy. I'm owner of the Rusted Mermaid, and I'm from Salisbury, Maryland, out on the East Coast. But yeah, I have been in business for a couple years. I've only been doing paint parties for about 2 years.
Okay, so Rusted Mermaid is one of my favorite things ever. I love that title so much. Have you tried the mermaid tail paint yet from Deco Art?
I have not.
Beautiful. It's
Yeah.
so pretty. So you've been doing paint parties for 2 years. About how many paint parties do you think you've done in 2 years? Do you have a guess?
Um, I had a spreadsheet. I didn't count the amount. I know I've done close to 800, almost 900 painters. But I would probably guesstimate it's probably been 60 to 70 actual parties that we've done.
That's awesome. That is so cool. So are you mostly mobile?
For the most part, I started out mobile. I actually have a brick and mortar, and actually, we're sitting in my classroom. And I came to this location in August, and that has helped. It really has. It's not necessary by any means because I started mobile, and I still travel. So a lot of people that contact me to schedule are away from here. So when I'm able to do it in the studio, it's awesome. But I do travel still.
Yeah. Okay. So with all these parties and with all your beautiful paintings behind you, what would you say are one of the tips that have helped you kind of get butts in the seat for prepays?
So there's a few tips. I mean, as far as prepays, the tips that I would have as far as someone starting their business, my number one tip, as we tell painters in the parties, is trust the process. So I always carry this sign at the parties. I don't know if it's backwards or not, but trust the process. It's a sign my aunt made me. And as we tell people in the parties to trust the process to get through it, we as business owners have to trust the process to get to that point. You can't just start out and expect it to happen. So it's not an overnight process, but trusting the process of getting there will happen. In 2 years, I have 2,000, I shouldn't say only, but I have 2,000 followers on my Facebook page. It takes time to get there. So 2,000 isn't much, but it's 2,000 more than I had 2 years ago. So trust the process of getting out there and doing it. I started out with Facebook ads to get the painters in the seats. But in the process of being with Heidi and in the group, learning the tips, the marketing hacks that she gives, like really, doing what she says has really helped. Even the second year of my business, big time.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and it's so true. So many times we just want something to happen like this, like we can book a paint party fast and that's pretty easy to do. But it really is, I think the biggest challenge people are facing are getting butts in the seat, getting the prepays. And I think that's why like I just really want to try to encourage people. It takes time, just like you said. It's not something that's just overnight and it happes. And it's a
Right.
matter of being consistent.
Yeah, and consistently doing it, no matter how many people. I, for one, don't have a minimum because, I've booked a party, having my own space and being able to book my own parties without the fear of, having to do it at a restaurant. That's something that gives me the freedom to say, okay, this party was booked and I had one painter. Well, I'm still going to do it for that one painter. That one painter has friends. That one painter is going to share pictures and she's going to tell her friends about it. So even, I've had a lot of parties and a lot of them might not be huge, huge parties. I've had a party of 50, which is coming back around at a campsite. So, make sure you contact places like campgrounds that have people there every weekend. That was my biggest party ever. And she rebooked me for this March. So I'm super excited about that because I just know it's going to be a big party. But just trusting the process, like little parties, they all add up. So every time you get a painter in the seat, no matter how many people it is, they have friends, they share it, they show it, and it's going to grow. So do your first few parties with your friends and family to get the pictures, just to get it out there so people know what you're doing. That's huge because people don't know what you're doing until you show them. You have to show them. So don't, that's why I'm about to get into my step 2 or my tip number 2. But yeah, you have to just trust the process.
Yeah, and you can't just show them once, people. You got to show them several times and again and again and again until they're sick of seeing it. Then well, until you're sick of posting about it, they're just now seeing it.
Right.
So real quick before we move to tip 2, campgrounds. So are they, because people are transit in the campground world, are they doing prepays, or are you just setting up for a certain amount and the campground's paying?
Yeah, so the one that I had, and this year I'm going to reach out to more. Last year I had done a party, it was about an hour away from me, at a little restaurant, and one of the attendees, she runs all the events at the campground, which is, again, it's about an hour south of me in Virginia. And she runs all the events, and she always does a paint night, and it was already on their books, and it was 3 weeks, I think, before that paint night. And she said, "Hey, I want you to do this at your party." And I was like, 3 weeks? I do a lot of wood parties. So I was like, okay. Well, the campground, I will say a huge percentage of them didn't sign up until the last minute. But, at the time I had a website. I'm switching over to my Square site for to get my prepaids, but I had a website so they would go. So everybody went pre-registered. I knew exactly what I had to cut and prepare for them. But yeah, everyone prepaid ahead of time. They were excited about it because it was something new, and they were all going to be there that weekend anyway. But yeah, they paid, it was a really good party for 49 people. So they paid the $35 to $45 per painting, depending on what they chose. So.
And then the campgrounds already have tables, like picnic tables and everything ready, right?
Yeah, they actually had it was an indoor venue, where they do their events. So it was really nice. They had helpers there, actually help me, which was awesome because, again, it was 50 people. It was I only took myself and my aunt. So the lady that booked it and her helper, and they were very calm people. Like, it was nice because they were just there. They were having a good time. So they were very patient with the whole process, but it was a really good party.
So do they take a percentage, or is it more like you're bringing an event to them that they want for that?
Yeah,
campground?
all mine. They didn't take a percentage. It was just something for them to do. So, and there's a lot of campgrounds that I think would be willing to do that. A lot of them have, times allotted for events like that. I had somebody heard of my event from like Gettysburg, or it was way far away from me. So I had to reach out to somebody else to see if they could do it, because they, said, "Hey, we have this time slot and we really like to do a paint party with you." And I was like, "I'm not traveling." It was like 4 hours away. And I was like, "I'm not going to do that." But yeah, so campgrounds are really, really big thing, especially now where they start booking in March. Start reaching out to them now to see if they've got a date in their calendar, in their schedule, that they would want to do a paint party.
Yeah, and I noticed like campgrounds, community centers, all those places, they book months and months in advance. So, a lot of especially like country clubs and community centers, they're booked all the way through my Christmas dates, because they just have to book that soon. Okay, so sorry, I think my dog is trying to get in. He's very curious. So what is your tip number 2?
So tip number 2 that I wrote down, it's sort of just a phrase, but it's do it. So I know a lot of people, even when I first started, my very first paint party, I had done a paint party as a guest, for our Relay for Life team. So we had a paint party to raise money, and I had done the paint party just as a guest. I hadn't really thought about teaching them before. He didn't give us very much profit. We were trying to raise money. And I'm like, I could do this. Like, can I do this? Like, I could do this. So I put together the easiest project you could ever come up with like tape and birch trees, and made it into a picture holder. It was like the easiest thing ever. And I was like, I think we had 6 people there. I don't know. But I was like, I didn't really plan. I didn't really think about it. I was just like, I could do this. Like, so I did it. So doing it, whether you do it scared, whether you do it now, do it scared, do it now, do it anyway. Like, you have to just do it. There's never a perfect time to do it. It's just you have to do it. You have to just put something in motion and just do it.
Mm-hmm. I love that, because the secret is we are all doing it scared all the time. Like anytime I reach a new venue or a new location, there's always that fear of like, is this one going to go okay? Is it going to be as good as my last one? So yeah, you have to do it scared, and you have to remember they're not staring at you. They are so terrified themselves of how they're going to perform. So you need to make sure you're showing them love the whole time. So that's a great, great tip.
Yeah, because you never know. You never know who needs your light and who needs your gift and who needs the craft that day. I mean, so many times I've come to a party and, you know, they just needed to get away. Like they just needed, I mean, I've had women give me hugs and say, you know, I just really needed this today. And, you know, that makes it worth it. So don't be scared about, yourself or what you say. I still, after 2 years and 900 painters and I don't know how many parties, I still don't know what to say. Sometimes when I stand in front of them and I get tongue tied and I'm like, okay, let's just paint. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're there to have a good time. In the end, everybody's going to be happy. So don't get caught up on the little stuff. Like, literally, like, just do it. Like,
Yeah.
you just have to do it.
I love that. I love that attitude. And I'm telling you, like we were traveling a lot and I did like 5 paint parties in a matter of a week, 4 states away. I mean, it was an insane schedule. And looking back now, I don't even know how I did it all. But I remember the last paint party. I was trying to like share my testimony. And there was like one point where I just we had gone to Universal Studios the day before. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, I just like totally lost it, you know? And I was like, okay, refocus, get back on track, you know? So you're going to make mistakes and it's totally fine. I mean, people forgive you and they move on and you just keep going. So I think it's more about showing love, showing God's love while you are teaching these parties, showing these women you care more than anything. So yeah, do it scared. And okay, Christy, what would you say your third tip is?
My third tip would probably be just to mix it up. So when I started my business, I started with wooden signs. So my Cricut machine, my $200 Cricut machine has made me tens of thousands of dollars over the years before paint parties, you know, whether it was just making signs. So I made wooden signs and I was like, I can teach people to make a wooden sign. I can't sell a sign for $40 sometimes, but somebody will sit in a seat to pay $40 to paint it all day long.
Yeah.
So I started, and my home is really with the wood signs. I never thought I was an artist. I never thought I could paint. I never thought I could do it until your group and, you know, even Christie's group, I've joined her as well. I've painted some really cool stuff, and it's
Beautiful.
like, so because I never thought I could do that. But I know that, you know, it's easy enough. If you could teach me to do it, like I can teach somebody to do it. And it's rewarding to me to do the canvas style, to be like to teach somebody and they're so excited that they did that. I'm like, you did it. So that's really cool, but mixing it up. So I've got wood, I've now had a canvas. The ceramics was something I would have never, ever thought to do. It's ginormous. Like, it was huge in the Christmas season. I've got, you know, the truck with the flowers behind me. So, you know, the ceramics, the earrings on my ears are wooden that I painted the other day. So having something, you know, I want to have a little DIY bar here where they can come in and pick this project and, you know, just having something different. Pillows. I don't know. I have notes over here. Like, there's so much stuff that you could do, but bringing something different to the mix. And so I'm not just doing wood signs every time. I had a lady last year that she spent $700 or $800 alone with me. Like, they keep coming back.
Bless
you know
you.
So they keep coming back no matter what. But when you add the new things in, they feel like they're getting something new from you. I mean, obviously she likes something. She keeps coming. I'm not sure. But to have that repeat business and the customers that come time and time again, it definitely feels good. But I, in turn, want to constantly give them something different, and which this group does for me. Again, like, being in your group, I never would have done canvas. I never would have done ceramics. So, you know, being able to do that stuff and to add it has been huge, huge for my business. Huge.
Well, and it speaks volumes to your character and how you're treating that lady along with all the other people that are coming to you. Because, you know, I've said it time and time again, you know, people get so scared. Like, I've seen 2 posts in the past 3 days of people saying, well, the big brick and mortars are all starting to do mobile paint parties. And I'm like, well, they have been already, first off. And number 2, they're coming back for your personality, for the way you treat them. You know, a brick and mortar where they've hired somebody to paint for $50 that night is not going to have the same care and attention as somebody like you, who, number 1, is being paid well, and number 2, I mean, it's your baby, you know? And so I'm all about, like, you know, offer things different. It's all about having a creative space. And I think you're doing a really great job of that, because obviously they're coming back for more. So that makes me happy that you're we're problem solvers and you're not willing to go, I can only do Canvas and that's it. And, you know, I'm always willing, like, where do I need to pivot? Okay, they're liking this, let's pivot. You know, as long as we're creating something fun with them, that's all that really matters. So I love that about that. Oh my gosh, Christie, it's been so great talking to you. Do you have any final thoughts of what you want to leave everybody with?
I don't know. I have a quote. I saw it. I found it in my book. I don't know if I can find it. It was a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, and I'm probably not going to find it right now. I was going through my planner. But it was something about roses don't fall from the sky, and if you want more roses, you have to plant them. So it's sort of the same thing. Like, you have to plant the seeds. You just have to plant the seed out there and let people know what you're doing. It's not going to fall in your lap. So that's the biggest thing is planting the seed. You know, paint it, show it, have your friend do it, have your friend share, and just asking for help, like asking people to share, asking people to like, you know, it's huge. Having Facebook as a tool that we didn't have umpteen years ago when I had other businesses, you know, it's really big today. And I don't advertise anywhere else. Like, you just, you know, use Facebook for the store too. I opened my store and I've had 10 people come in wanting to do radio commercials. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay you to do radio commercials, like, they're Facebook. So the advertising is huge, but get it out there. Use the tools, you know, that you're given. Use your buy, sell, trade groups to advertise if you don't want to do ads. But just get it out there. Like, just do it.
Yeah. And I just want to add to that, because right now everybody thinks, oh, this is the way we'll always be able to show our stuff and build our business. They don't know. Like, nobody knows what Facebook's going to restrict next year or the year after. So, like, while we're in this like golden hour of like this awesome time to build our businesses, go full force. Like, don't be one of those people that look back in 2023 and you're like, dang it, if only I would have been doing the stuff I was able to do for free, you know, and post and have all this traction in your business. So I love that. And yeah, you've got to use your resources when things are there, and take advantage of them. There's so many opportunities. You know, I get the same thing with people wanting me to advertise a certain way, or even go to like a booth on a weekend, set up for $500 and talk to the few hundred people that walk by. And I'm like, no, I can reach thousands in a matter of a click. Why would I go sit up and do all of that work when I don't even know? So that's really important too. Okay, so Rusted Mermaid, one of my favorite business names of all time. Tell everybody how they can find you, follow you, and if they want to come to your paint party, because this will be shown all over.
Gotcha. I mean, the Rusted Mermaid, again, basically on Facebook, the Rusted Mermaid. I had a website, which like I said, I'm transitioning right now over to my Square site, but I'm on Instagram, the Rusted Mermaid as well. We're located in Salisbury, Maryland. So again, on the East Coast, near the ocean. I do have a brick and mortar, but you can find all that on my Facebook page. But yeah, Salisbury, Maryland. So come visit if we're close. And I know I'm close to Miss Jess. She's up in Delaware. Paint Parties by Jess. So I see her stuff all the time. So it's cool to have somebody. I haven't actually met up with her yet, but she's pretty close. So it's fun to know that there's people nearby doing the same stuff. So
yeah, you're gonna have a coffee date or something and connect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so the Rusted Mermaid, make sure you check out our Facebook page, like it, and then let us know in the comments what your biggest takeaway from her 3 top tips were. And let us know if you like seeing these interviews. If you do, we'll do more. All right, guys, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Christie, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, bye, guys.